Son gets stepmother pregnant. Husband's reaction will shock you. A true infidelity story of forbidden love will shock you. This story revolves around Linda family and stepson Jack and her forbidden love. Before starting this story, please subscribe me for more. In the quaint suburb of Willow Creek, where the streets echoed with laughter and the scent of blooming flowers filled the air, the Johnson family appeared to be the epitome of normalcy. Mark Johnson, a devoted husband and father, worked long hours to provide for his family, while his wife, Linda, juggled her role as a stepmother to 17-year-old Jake and caretaker of their home. Linda had married Mark 2 years after his divorce from Jake's mother. She tried hard to bond with Jake, who struggled with the change in dynamics. As time passed, however, the two began to share a unique bond, a bond that teetered on the edge of something dangerous and forbidden. It started innocently. They shared late-night conversations over a book, laughter during movie nights when Mark was away, and an understanding that only two people could share. But the line between familial love and something more blurred, ignited by a shared moment of vulnerability when Jake confided in Linda about his struggles at school and his feelings of inadequacy. In that moment, Linda saw not just a troubled teen but a young man who needed comfort and reassurance. As weeks turned into months, those moments grew increasingly charged. A touch lingered a moment too long, a glance lasted just a bit too long. The final straw came during a family camping trip when Mark accidentally left his phone at home. Under the stars, in the warmth of the crackling fire, they sat close, sharing secrets and dreams. Jake moved closer, so close their knees brushed against each other, and Linda felt her heart race in a way that shocked her to her core. What began as a stolen kiss in the depths of the night quickly spiraled into a passionate affair that they struggled to keep hidden. They made desperate plans to be together, each rendezvous laced with an intoxicating thrill and a suffocating fear of being caught. Linda often told herself it was just a phase, that they would eventually stop. But with every passionate encounter, they grew further entangled in a web of deception. But the tangled web they spun didn't stay hidden for long. One evening, while Linda was in the shower, Jake, feeling emboldened by their secret affair, decided to sneak into her room. Just then, Mark returned home unexpectedly early. Right as he entered the house, he heard the faint sounds of muffled giggles and whispers. Fueled by curiosity and an unsettling feeling in his gut, he approached their bedroom. What he found shattered his world. His wife and son, entangled in a moment that felt both surreal and grotesque. Shock morphed into rage and disbelief, leaving him momentarily paralyzed. How could this happen? The woman he loved, the boy he had raised, together in a way that was not just forbidden but outright betrayal. Linda. Jake. Mark's voice rang through the house, a mixture of agony and fury. Linda, wrapped in a towel, scrambled to gather her thoughts while Jake's guilt washed over him like a cold wave. The facade was gone. The life they had built crumbled in an instant. Mark's face turned crimson as he confronted them, his once steady voice trembling with disbelief. "How could you do this to me? To our families?" He pointed an accusing finger, his eyes darting between the two, seeking answers, seeking clarity that would never come. Linda, feeling trapped and exposed, attempted to speak, her voice breaking. "Mark, Save it," he yelled, cutting her off. "You've torn apart everything we built together." But then an unprecedented silence settled, and reality crashed over them like a wave. Linda realized she wasn't just caught in a lie, she was carrying the weight of a new life. Panic settled deep in her stomach. She had not yet told Jake about the pregnancy that had already begun to change everything. In the aftermath, Mark's shock morphed into something darker, an icy resignation. He was not just angry, he felt utterly defeated. He left home that night, not knowing where to go or what to do. In the days that followed, as he sought solace in bottle after bottle, questions ricocheted in his mind. Could he forgive? Could he move forward knowing his son was entwined with the woman he loved? Meanwhile, Linda and Jake grappled with the reality of their relationship, unsure of how to proceed. They shared the secret of the pregnancy, an unspoken bond that changed everything. A part of them found thrill in their clandestine love. Another part felt the crushing weight of impending consequences. But the heart is a tangled thing, and as days turned into weeks, Mark grappled with his decision. The news of Linda's pregnancy became a tipping point, a chance for redemption, or an unending cycle of suffering. The final confrontation came on a rainy evening when Mark returned home to find Linda and Jake sitting together on the couch, a picture of guilt and complicity. Rain drummed against the windows as he stood before them, a man torn between love and betrayal. "Tell me what you want to do," he stated flatly. "This can't go on." In that moment, all three of them understood that their lives could never return to the way they once were. Their choices, their desires, and the consequences of their actions stretched before them like an uncharted road. Mark's reaction was shocking not for its fury, but for its unexpected calm. He had lost so much, yet there was a flicker of resilience in him, a realization that perhaps starting anew, whatever that would mean, was the only way forward from this chaos. As for Linda and Jake, they were left grappling not just with the consequences of their actions, but with their own evolving relationship, one that had spiraled into an abyss of betrayal, yet now held the potential to be something new, albeit forever tainted by the past. In the quiet after the storm of emotions, they faced their choices together, a family forever changed by an affair that had shattered their world. And in the end, it was love, with all its complexities, that would determine how they rebuilt from the rubble.